Good evening, everyone. My name is Chris Cooper, known as the Channel Guy Trader, and I'm reporting to you live from Wall Street Trading's Miami office down in sunny South Florida. Today's date is Monday, April the 22nd, 2013, and here is today's After the Bell Market Summary brought to you by WallStreetTrading.com. I want to first start off by taking a look to see how the indices closed the session here for the day. The Dow Jones was up a little over 19.5 points. The Nasdaq was up close to 27.5 points, and the S&P 500 was up 7.25. If we take a look at the breadth on the markets today, we had 3,489 issues advancing on the NYSE, Nasdaq, and the AMEX. We had 2,577 issues declining on the NYSE, Nasdaq, and the AMEX. So breadth was in favor of the bulls today. All right, and the market was up across the board in various sectors and groups. I mean, for the most part, the market sold off for the first hour and a half or so, or I would say the first hour, and then around really around 10:30, we got that little nice reversal. We trade up for the rest of the day. Very interesting turnaround in the markets because the selling volume that we had come in the morning part of the session here was pretty heavy, and then of course light volume died out, and they floated the markets back all the way to the highs. All right, so let's go ahead and take a look at the SPY daily chart to see what we're looking at here. SPY closed up 69 cents at 156.17. Now we got to get back above this 157 level and hold above it if we are looking for this thing to trade back up towards the 160s. We still got to get back above these little prior resistance. Now support. It broke again, so now it's support again. So 157 is key. We'll be watching that level tomorrow very close to see what happens there. At the same time, today's low is another reference level to work off of. Today's low on the SPY was 154.75. You want to work your positions off that low and manage your positions off that low going into tomorrow's session. See how we trade it. Because if we break that low, we could go right back down towards the bottom of the range down here around 154, 153.22 or so. All right, let's take a look at the triple Qs. The Nasdaq was the leading index today. You could thank Netflix for that, which came out with some good numbers after the bell, which I have not looked over them yet, but I'm assuming the numbers are good because the stock took off to the moon. Let me see here. What's Netflix trading at right now since we're doing the video here? Netflix is up $42.52 after hours, trading at 216.89. It closed at 174.37. And it's at 216.94 right now after hours. So it's a big move in that stock there. And let me see something real quick. Let's take a look how the Qs are looking here after hours. I know that VECO had earnings after the bell as well, and that stock is trading higher. All right, let's see here. VECO real quick. VECO, yeah, they're up like $2.34 after hours here. But in any case, triple Q's got to get back above the 69.25 area. So remember, we've been chopping around this little range here between the 67.85 and the 69 level. They've been shaking in the shorts below the 67.85 and then washing them back out to the top side. And so far, they have the same scenario here where they shook out the shorts below the 67.80, shook in the shorts below the 67.85 and washed them right back out on from Friday's move and then a continuation from today's move. If we can get back above 69.10 tomorrow, then this ETF, the Nasdaq triple Qs here, are still back in play for a move back up towards these highs of 70, and then this will be two nasty shakeouts that we had right here from this from this little downward price movement. All right, sucking in those shorts and then washing them right back out to the top. So top side. So we definitely have to watch the 69.10 level very closely tomorrow. We break over 69.10, 69.50, and then 69.67. If we open up flat or gap up higher for the downside, you want to watch today's closing price 68.78, today's opening price 68.33, and then today's lows around 68.08 and the 67.85 area. Just some reference levels to work off of. All right, let's take a look at the Russell 2000. See how the Russell 2000 did today, real quick. All right, Russell 2000 was lagging a bit today. While the other indices sold off and we're still kind of hanging in there, holding near their opening price. The Russell 2000 actually sold all the way down towards the previous day's lows, right? And you can see here from the IWM that we sold all the way down to 88.97, call it 89, and we've reversed all the way back to the top side. So you have here Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and today, where all the dips to the downside towards this 89 level. We're getting bought, have been getting bought up, the past couple sessions here. So keep that in mind. Want to take a look at the IWM because we could trigger over these 91.13s and make a move back up towards this top side of this resistance around 92.70. But one thing to take note of is that we do have all these moving averages right above us as price. Some price, it's going to have some resistance trying to break through those price levels up there, 91.10, 91.50, 92 area. A lot of resistance right here from these moving averages. So that's how the IWM is looking. If we take a look at the dollar index and see what the dollar index did today, if I'm not mistaken, the dollar index was a little bit strong today, but then I guess reversed here. I'm pretty sure that's when we got the reversal. All right, so you can see the dollar index did break above the previous high there, but then we reversed right back and we closed below Friday's close. So a little bit of weakness there, and I'm thinking that's when the market reversed. Let's take a look here. The dollar started getting weak right here. It broke down at 10:30, 11:30, and that's exactly when the market started getting some nice momentum to the top side around that 11:30 area. So you definitely want to make sure you're tracking the U.S. dollar and the euro on your time frame. You take a look at the euro right here as well. Euro started catching a bid at 11:30, and the markets started moving back to the top side. So there goes that risk on, risk off action with the currencies, and the commodities had a nice little move up today as well off their lows. As going into the opening session, they were kind of trading sideways to higher. Gold did pull back a little bit on the open or so, but I mean, still hanging in there. Anyway, so let's go and take a look at the euro dollar daily chart just so I can get a little reference of how it's setting up on the system. All right, and on the euro dollar here, pretty much still trading sideways, holding above this 130 level, so not much to talk about there. All right, how about that volatility index today? It was up a little bit in the morning, and then, of course, it faded back down throughout the session here when we caught that reversal around 11:30. Or I should say we caught the reversal around 10:30, but the momentum for that reversal came in around 11:30 when we had that nice little move off the bull range on the ES around 11:30 to 12 o'clock or so there. We broke out. Volatility index, not a surprise. It just doesn't seem to be any fear in the market. Every time the volatility spikes up, they sell us right back down. We actually had some follow-through action on Wednesday and Thursday, and then they sold us off on Friday, and today we got some follow-through downside action on the VIX again here after having a nice move up from last week Monday's opening price to the high that we made right here on Wednesday. That's Thursday's high, sorry, from Thursday, and now we're trying to move right back down. So they're just selling the VIX, folks. Doesn't look like there's any fear in the market at all quite yet, because every time we sell off, they keep on buying the dip. So we got to buy the dip fiasco with them. All right, what else do we want to take a look at here? I'm not going to go through the whole gold and commodities stuff. I want to make this a quick video. If you guys want to touch base with that on how we see the gold and the silver and the crude oil, you could take a look at the weekend review video that I put out last night. I'll probably cover that stuff again in tomorrow's video or on Wednesday if we have any good price action in those individual sectors and commodities. So anyways, let's go ahead and take a look at a couple key stocks here. See what Apple did today. All right, Apple was up $8.14. Little reversal in Apple. They have earnings tomorrow after the close. So that's going to be pretty. It's going to be pretty interesting to watch there. See how they report. In my opinion, I don't think they hit the numbers, so we'll have to wait and see. Netflix had a nice little move today as well during the session, and then after the session, of course, the stock is going to be opening up much higher. So you really want to watch the stock tomorrow, see how they trade it. Again, this stock did trade at 272 back here in 2011. Actually hit a high of 305. So I mean, are they turning their business structure around where, or I should say their business model around where they're going to make some decent cash flows to take the stock price back up to those levels? We'll have to wait and see. But as far as we know from the news after the close here, all right, they did pretty well. All right, they come out with decent numbers, and the stock is trading at 217. So, it's going to be making new 52-week highs, and it's going to be breaking above these highs right here that it made at 198. So you got to watch that stock tomorrow, folks. All right, what else do we want to take a look at? Lulu, another key stock to watch. Lulu had a nice little momentum move today. I'm not sure if any news came out in the stock during the intraday session. I do know that this stock has been showing some relative strength compared to the market. From what the market's been doing the past 2 weeks or so, the stock has been showing relative strength. And then today just had a follow through, a big buyer coming into the name here today, buying the stock up with some volume in there. And we have to watch if this thing wants to trade back up towards these 78 levels, which I think it does. I really do think it has a chance of trading up there towards 78. Would I buy it after a big expansion day today? No. If you're a swing trader, no. Maybe if you're an intraday trader, you could try to find some pullback setups in the name. You take a look at the 60-minute chart. This is a nice little power trend. So maybe if it trades sideways a bit or pulls back for a little dip, you can maybe catch one last move up in the morning session. But the best time to buy the stock was right here when it broke out this little range around 69.25 or so. But in any case, I mean the stock is strong. One thing that I did take a look at when I did call the breakout in Lulu today, I didn't call the exact breakout, but I called the next momentum breakout move, which went up $1 after that intraday here, going into like the close there. But next stock on watch for the specialty retail store is going to be this Deckers, DECK. This stock looks a little bit interesting as well. So keep an eye on the Deckers to see maybe it could do something like Lulu. Intel, we talked about the stock in last night's Sunday night chart session, which we do in the MyWallStreetTV.com trading room at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And Intel was one of the names that we talked about. And Intel has a nice breakout if it could break over 23 and hold. Actually, the high that we made here from the last earnings report was 23.06. And, now they're making their way back up towards that level. Looks pretty interesting. The weekly chart looks pretty good. All right, it's been going up pretty steady for the past 2 weeks, and the monthly chart is trying to stabilize here around that 20 level. So it looks pretty interesting, keeping that stock on watch as well. Microsoft had a nice little move up today, was up a little over 3.5%. Stock's moving back to the top side. There is definitely some momentum in this name here. You can see there's some players in here. All right, take a look at the 5-minute. Nice little momentum move up right on the open in the first 10 minutes and traded sideways for most of the day, but it still had a nice little move up today. Got to make sure you take that into account. Keep an eye on this one for tomorrow. Maybe you could get a nice little break out the range. Take a look at the 60-minute chart. Could be trying to flag up here. All right, with the bottom of the flag on the 60-minute being around 30.68 and the top of the flag being around 31.38. So keep that one on your radars, guys. All right, what else did I want to talk about here? The commodity stocks, they made a nice move today. The basic material sector made a nice move today as the gold was up a little bit. There was a nice little bid in some of the metals overnight, so that carried into the equity session as people ran into these names looking to buy some of them up. All right, DD, nice little move there in DD. They have earnings coming out. Let's see, tomorrow before the market opens. Definitely want to keep this one on your radar. SLB, that one's been getting crushed here. ExxonMobil was up 0.73% today. So, again, some people coming into these names here and trying to buy these dips in some of these basic material stocks that have fallen off their highs from the prior 2 weeks. So keep these names on your radar as well. GE had another follow-through day to the downside. Doesn't look too good for that name. Same thing for IBM. GE breaking below 200-day moving average, and this one looks like it's going to trend all the way back down maybe to like this 2025 level. So it means it has like $1 left in the name. IBM had a follow-through day to the sell side. That stock is just getting clobbered. This one's not going to have any support until down there around 185. So keep that one on watch for a possible scalp play. Keep that one on watch for a possible scalp play off of that 184.81 area. Call it 185. Another strong stock out there in regards to the Netflix and the whole tech sector is CRE, C-R-E, semiconductor stock. They come out with earnings tomorrow. After the market close, and you can see the stock has been trending pretty nice here and has a strong looking monthly chart. I would not be surprised if they beat their numbers for the quarter and gap up the same way they gapped up right here. Okay, so we'll see how that plays out. Anything else that I want to cover? Merck, MRK. We talked about this in last night's weekend review session that we have in our chat room at 9:30, and this one had a nice little continuation move today. Why were we expecting that continuation move? Take a look at the 60-minute chart. The 60-minute chart broke out this little bull flag here on Friday. All right, broke out around 2 o'clock, traded high for the rest of the session there. traded again sideways in this little range and had the continuation move today. We called this one out in the chat room today around 47.50 and made it all the way up to that, close to that 48 level. A nice little momentum move here. Some nice money flow coming into these biotech stocks, as that has been the case for the past 3 weeks or so, past month. All right, and even longer than that. I mean, these stocks have just been in play. But as far as momentum coming back into the names here, they've been trading pretty well the past 2 weeks. Celgene had a nice little move up today. Keep an eye on this name if it takes out today's highs. Had a nice little fall through day from Friday's action. They have earnings coming out on the 25th, which is the 25th is Thursday. No, 25th is Thursday, and they have earnings before the market opens. So that's about it, folks. Hope you guys had a great day today. I'll touch base with you guys tomorrow morning in the chat room. We had a lot of good stuff on the radar today. I forgot to talk about Halliburton, which was the trade that we took in the chat room today. All right, HAL had a nice little move. This was a good trade because we were watching this for most of the session. It chopped around for a bit. Take a look at the 15-minute chart. It chopped around for a little while, but then once it started holding that a bit above 38.50, I told the guys on the desk to watch the name. A couple of the guys picked it up at 38.45. Some of the guys picked it up at 38.50. All right, really once it triggered over these 38.71s or so, that's pretty much when the momentum started coming back into the name, and that's when it moved up from 38.71 all the way to a high of 39.40. So it moved up 70 cents, a little bit of a grinder, but again, today was a very interesting day for the fact that the market had some heavy selling pressure on the open and then reversed around 10:30, had a float move higher. So that's about it, folks. Just wanted to make sure I got that in there. Have a great night. Catch you guys tomorrow morning. Cheers.